That was Bastille with Pompeii.
It was a very good song, it is too. But now, at 6 minutes past 9, it's time for... Can you believe the production values have got that high? It is David versus Rory. A reiteration of the rules. It's easy for me to say, isn't it? That was good. What a start. Is that we're going to have 5 facts that we're going to give each other. And basically some of them are completely true and they're wonderfully exciting facts. But some of them are entirely fabricated. Just for a laugh, basically. And all we've got to do is decide whether we think our partner's statement is true or false. We get a point every time we get it right. It's not difficult to understand, is it, Rory?
It's not, and you could see the nerves already kicking in for David there because he could hardly get his words out. And that's just a sign of what this game can do to someone.
I'm shaking like a leaf.
Yeah, he's wilted already, and we haven't even had a question yet.
Indeed.
But you should take heart from your track record because it's odd to think that a game so random could produce such, well, one-sided outcomes most years.
Yeah, I will say at the outset of this game, if it's the first time you've listened, there's no skill involved in this. We are essentially picking true or false on a complete 50-50 coin toss sort of basis. There's zero skill. Nobody has ever gone, oh, I actually know this to be false, oh, I actually know this to be true. It's always, that's ludicrous, why would you even know that? Complete guess. And then somebody gets lucky and wins. And that's basically the game.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a treat. You can enjoy that over the next 52 minutes. And we're kicking off now, so get ready. My first statement for you, Rory. Do you think this is true or false? Cows sleep for 12 hours a day.
12 hours a day?
12 hours a day. You see, some animals only sleep for a short time. Some animals, like a sloth, sleep for something like 22 hours a day. I'm telling you, cows sleep for 12. True or false?
Well, in a sense, they don't really need to sleep for that long because they don't really do...
Are you calling cows lazy?
An awful lot else. But, well, maybe not necessarily every cow, but at the same time, sometimes it's when you're not doing anything that you can actually feel more tired.
Well, there we are.
Now, the trick to this game, if there is such a thing, is to try and work out if it is a lie, what could possibly have changed. So you might just have, changed another animal, a cow for example, or changed the numbers around.
Oh indeed, well I'm sure something sleeps for 12 hours a day.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm on
tenterhooks, come on!
Well, I think
you can't do this to us this early in the morning. I can't believe it.
I think there might have been a subtle tweak somewhere in here, perhaps with the number, so I'm going to say false.
You're going to say false?
Yes.
And let's see if you are right. Oh! Brilliant. I tell you what, once again, production values there. That is quality. It is false. All I did was change the number. So cows actually only sleep for between 3 and 4 hours a day.
Really?
And you can tell that one to your friends and family to amaze them with that brilliant fact. So you have got a point there. Now, I'm even more scared because I may be down after the first round here. What's your statement for me?
Okay, here you are. Iceland is the only country in the world whose electricity supply comes entirely from renewable sources.
Okay, that's interesting. It's not quite how long cows sleep, but we'll deal with it. We'll deal with it. I think if it was going to be a place, I think the first place to do that would be either Scandinavia. They seem quite progressive. Or it would be somewhere like Iceland, because there's not that many people that live there, so presumably their energy consumption is fairly low as far as countries go, possibly only beaten by somewhere like the Vatican City or San Marino or somewhere. They're an incredibly small population by the size of their country. I am going to not beat around the bush, and I'm going to say that it's probably true.
Well, you are correct.
Hey! 1-1, folks. I'm still in the game.
A high scoring encounter today.
Well, it's 1-1, so high scores seem to be the flavour of the day at these heady heights, isn't it?
Well, yeah, so it could go the other way, of course. But yes, Iceland is the only country in the world whose electricity supply comes entirely from renewable sources. So Iceland beaten Watch football last summer and showing the rest of the world how to go on with their energy supply as well.
Indeed, what a country. And of course, the thunderclap, which was quite impressive. The massive weight, and then the whole side of the stadium, about half of the population of Iceland, all clap at the same time, and it was it was a thunderclap, wasn't it? It was a brilliant thing. That
well, when the team landed home, there's a brilliant video out there somewhere when the team landed home and they came off the plane, and practically all of Iceland had gone to the airport at Reykjavik to welcome them.
All 14 other people?
But all of them were doing that thunderclap together. It was a sight.
It was an impressive sound when you were watching the game, and suddenly you just boom. It was very good indeed. Well, I'll tell you what, if you enjoyed that, then stay tuned, because there's 4 more rounds just like that. We educate you as well as delight you here on Radio Prudhoe.
She played the fiddle.
Well, I hope the 2 Pauls we have watching listening even this morning, I hope you're not watching us, that would be a bit strange. I hope you both enjoyed listening to that. That was Lynyrd Skynyrd and Sweet Home Alabama.
And a very good track it is indeed. Now, exciting times.
that wasn't exciting now.
Well,
I'm startled as that. No.
Well, I guess all the audience are doing the same as well, aren't they? No. It's
when will round 2 begin? They're all shouting at their children.
Well, it's a bit cruel, really, because we've probably just played the longest track of the day there so far.
Possibly.
In between our first 2 rounds, leaving them all on tenterhooks.
It was a good track, though.
It was, yeah.
Right, well, I gave you a fact first last time, so it's only fair that I be subjected to yours first on this occasion.
Okay. Right, now, there are similarities to my next fact with your first one this morning, actually, in that it takes us back into the animal kingdom.
Wow.
When a hare, as in the rabbit-like creature, blinks,
right,
its eyelids are closed for a minimum of 3 seconds.
A
minimum.
As soon as you mentioned a hare's eyelid, I thought this is going to be a corker, this.
Only on Radio Prudhoe.
Wow. When a hare blinks, its eyelid is closed for 3 seconds minimum.
A minimum of 3 seconds.
Right. Now, I think that sounds pretty ludicrous. Surely 3 seconds of blindness minimum every time it blinks. Now, if it blinks as much as a human, it'll never have its eyes open, unless it only blinks once a minute or something. I can't see that being the case. I think this could well be one of those weird Animal Kingdom things that David Attenborough might tell you in a documentary, and you might think, wow, I didn't know that. But I'm going to go with my gut here and say that sounds far too long. It's either the wrong animal or it's far too long. I'm going to say no, that's false.
So you think that's even too ludicrous for one of these?
I do, yeah, I do. And we've had a politician with an octopus in his bath before.
We have.
I can't remember what politician that was, but we have had some pretty ridiculous things. But no, I'm going to say that's false.
You're correct.
Look at that. We've not even used the wrong answer sound effect yet. This is excellent. 2-1.
Yes, that's fabricated. It's based on another fact, which is that hamsters blink one eye at a time, which is indeed correct. So there you go. But that's, double your money there, folks. There's two bits of information.
Brilliant. Right.
So 2-1.
2-1, but you could level here. And we only just played Galway Girl a few minutes ago, and that was Ed Sheeran, of course. Well, my next fact does feature, quite by pure chance, Ed Sheeran. It is this. Ed Sheeran briefly lived with Ian McKellen. That's right, and recorded his first album while living there. Now that, of course, was a good few years before Galway Girl, but what do you think? Ed Sheeran briefly lived with Sir Ian McKellen and recorded his first album while living with him.
Well, I think Ed Sheeran was brought up in Suffolk, I believe, because I think he's an Ipswich Town fan.
Okay. Well, you support Carlisle, though, and you're not from anywhere near there.
Well, quite. Now, I presume Ian McKellen, maybe has some nice property just outside London or something like that.
I bet he's got more than one place as well.
I bet he has.
I bet he has. Rolling in it, Mr. Ian McKellen.
Well, yeah.
Sir
absolutely.
Ian McKellen.
So, geographically, it would seem to fit. I'm going to say that's true.
You're going to say true?
Yes.
Ed Sheeran did live with Ian McKellen.
It does sound quite obscure, but not as obscure as my fact. So I'm going to stay. I think that's just about within the safe limits, and I think that might be true.
Okay, so to reiterate then, if you've got this correct, it is 2-2. Mm-hmm. If you've got it wrong, I storm with a massive lead of 1 into the lead. Let's find out.
It'll effectively be game over.
Oh my goodness. Guess who's winning after 2 rounds? That is based on a true fact that James Blunt used to live with Carrie Fisher, which if anything's more obscure because she's American
Probably is,
and
actually.
James Blunt is English. And Carrie Fisher's is no longer with us, of course, but she was about 70 or something a few years back, and he was about 20-something when they lived together. Very odd.
Any idea how that came about?
I have zero idea on how that came about, and I wouldn't like to pry, quite honestly. But Ed Sheeran did not briefly live with Ian McKellen, but I'm pleased that you thought that was
by comparison,
plausible.
it sounds very plausible, really.
Well, that's my lying skills for you. I'm brilliant at deception. I don't know what that says about me there, but very good. So it's 2-1 to me, and we'll be playing round 3 next. That's a look at your news and weather. It is just after 9:30. Well, you know what it's time for, Rory?
Well, I can't wait for this, David.
It's round 3 of David versus Rory, and now I've just been thinking about my facts this morning, and rather interesting that your last one was about sort of weird things to do with animals, and specifically weird things to do with animals' eyes, because my next one, would you believe, is a strange fact about an animal's eyes.
No.
We've been on animaleyesfacts.com, haven't we, over the weekend? This is
It's
a good one.
bookmarked, let me tell you.
Oh, I bet it is. Now, here's number 3. The northern leopard frog swallows its prey using its eyes. It uses them to help push food down its throat by retracting them into its head. Now that is delightful. What do you think? Could that be true, or is it entirely made up?
Can you repeat the name of the animal, please?
The name of the animal is the northern leopard
The
frog.
northern leopard frog.
Not the southern one. The southern one
The
does not
northern
do
one.
this.
Does that
The
mean it's
northern-
from around here?
Oh yeah, he lives in Scunthorpe, I think. The
Alright.
northern leopard frog swallows its prey using its eyes. It pushes them into its head, which in turn pushes its prey down its throat. Is that awful lies, or is that a delightful truth?
Well, I think frogs do have quite big eyes. So
Yes.
the possibility would therefore be raised that they're able to, I don't know, put more into their eyes. Prey included. I can't imagine any kind of frog eating anything particularly big. It
Right.
might just be the odd insect, the odd fly and what have you.
Right. I would point out that neither of us know how big the northern leopard frog is. It might be just a little bit larger than a fly.
Well, it might,
We really don't know. It might be tiny.
there mightn't even be a northern leopard frog. That might be something you've just completely made up.
It might be called the western lion frog. I might have taken the mick a bit there. You never
Absolutely.
know.
Um,
The western antelope frog.
You see, you likened my previous fact to something that you might see, David Attenborough say on Planet Earth or whatever.
Yes. Oh, this is
And-
proper David Attenborough territory, this.
And you see, this is the kind of thing that I would perhaps expect to see on an episode of Planet Earth, for example. I'm going to say this is true.
You're going to say true. Well, you need this because it's
I could do
currently
with it, certainly.
2-1. Let's have a look. The answer is...
Oh,
You are absolutely right, and I'll do it in David Attenborough's voice. The northern leopard frog does indeed swallow its prey using its eyes. It uses them to help push food down its throat by retracting them into its head.
wow.
That's absolutely true. How about that?
Well, yeah, I'm going to have to go home and research that more, let me tell you. But
Yes,
that
well,
restores parity, doesn't it?
it does indeed. It's 2-2, and I can't wait for yours.
Right, okay. There are more than 900 words that break the I before E rule in the English language.
900.
More than 900.
Okay, well, I think that's... It's... Oh, well, now, you see, I do know there are lots of words that do break it. Science, for example, is one that's quite commonly mentioned. But it's... 900 seems an awful lot. There must be more words that don't follow the rule than do, by the sound of it. Do you know what? This could even be a tricky one, and you've moved the number down because there are so many words in English language. It could well be more than 900. I'm going to say... Do you know what I'm going to say? Did you say 900 words don't follow the rule?
That's correct.
I'm going to say that that's probably true, but I really hope that you haven't brought the number down, because I'm saying true because I think it's probably a lot that haven't. So, I'm going to say true.
Well, at first I thought you were plumping for false, which I was hoping for because it is true.
Hey!
100% record so
100%. Let's stress that.
Still only had one
Not
incorrect
one wrong
answer
yet.
so far.
Not one wrong.
Yeah.
3 out of 3 for me there. 3. That's 100%. Only 2 for you, sadly.
Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. That's where we should be leading into a meatloaf song. But
I'll tell you what's better than 2 out of 3 though. 3 out of 3. That's 1 better, isn't it?
Well, there's still a long way to go. Your cockiness might come back to bite me.
Yeah. Well, I'm winning by 1 so far. So
I'm going to bring an army of northern leopard frogs in here and set them on you.
And they'll eat us, and then they'll push us down their throat with their massive eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, what a treat!
Be afraid.
Oh, I am. It is 24 minutes to 10, and I think we rapidly need to go and have a bit of Michael Bublé. And he's a nice chap, and he does believe in you. Oh, I do like that a lot. That is Demi Lovato and Cheat Codes with No Promises. And there's no promises over who is going to win. Was that a good link? I don't think it really worked, but never mind. It's Bank Holiday Monday. We'll let it slide. It is round 4 now of David versus Rory, and of course, it is me. That's right, me that is the victor so far. 3-2. As it is, but it could still end 4-2 to Rory, and he could bring it back. It is essentially a game of luck and idiocy. So Rory is to kick off round 4.
Well, this is a potentially a make or break round. I mean, we could have a real exciting finale where either of us could snatch it.
Indeed.
Or you could wrap it up here. If you are correct and I'm wrong,
well,
that essentially invalidates
yes.
our last round.
Well, don't say that, because everyone will turn off at 10
Which would be a crime. Well, but
it'll be thrilling until the finish. You heard it here first.
Well, the facts will be, but the competitive element mightn't be quite so much. Anyway,
the facts are always delightful. Come on, let's have number 4.
Kirk Douglas, father of Michael, the 100-year-old actor,
brilliant.
said upon turning 100 last year that he credits his longevity to having a bath every day filled with porridge.
Right. Well, that's that. Okay. I don't normally hear bath continued with porridge, so that dumbfounded me for a second. Are we talking about actually properly made porridge, actual oats and water heated, or we're talking about literally just oats? Is it porridge or oats porridge?
I don't think he went into that kind of detail, but I would. But you see, I would presume.
Well, I want these details, Douglas.
If you put oats into boiling hot water, they will essentially come out with the same consistency of pre-made porridge.
What
wouldn't it really?
What kind of nut is putting oats in a bath?
Well, allegedly it's good for your skin.
Well, I know, but then,
and when you get to 100, you might need something.
Well, I'll tell you what. If oats are good for your skin, then you should stick oats on his face or something like that. You don't need to bathe in oats. And also, what is the cost of this? And also, what's the situation with the plug hole? Because oats going down a pipe is not acceptable. That's going to clog it. You must have to get his plunger out every other day. That's ludicrous for a start. And it's sort of starchy and sort of gloopy. The whole thing's awful. If this is true, then he is an idiot and a moron, and I don't know what is happening with that. And whether he's 100 or not, you can't stick oats in a bath and say it helps you live long. So I'm going to say, hopefully, for the sake of sanity, this is false, and nobody's sticking oats in a bath.
It is false, that's correct.
Can I just mention that I've not heard the wrong buzzer for my game, because I've played a perfect game so far. 4 out of 4. Let's just leave that bit of information hanging there. Please tell me nobody actually does bathe in oats.
I think you've been on some kind of course in the last year that kind of teaches you how to be a real pro at this.
Oh yeah,
this game. Some kind of university course somewhere specialising in.
The University of Exeter have a brilliant course on David versus Rory. It's tremendous. 2 years, but it's worth it.
Yeah, I hear Kirk Douglas is one of the lecturers on it.
Yeah, when he's not bathing in oats.
But he does not bathe in oats. No, he is 100 years old and still going strong. But, well, maybe I don't know, maybe he bathes in something else, I don't know, but it isn't porridge.
Did you make that up completely?
That is completely.
You didn't find anyone else that does bathe in porridge?
No, that's not based on anything else. That is just Kirk Douglas.
Now that is
porridge baths.
That's a great insight into your mind that you plucked that out of thin air and you thought somebody might bathe in porridge. Yeah, that could be a topic for the game.
Well, that's where my mind has to go for this game in my efforts to try and defeat you.
Well, I don't want to see what your plug hole looks like, mate. That's all I'll say if you're sticking oats down it. Right, it is 4-2 at the moment, so you really do need this. And what a brilliant fact it is. Due to the massive amount of vitamin A contained within it, a human would die if it ate, as well it might, a polar bear's liver. What do you think?
That sounds perfectly plausible in many ways because of, well, I mean, I can imagine the Inuits and what have you over the years gone by when they've been,
they love a polar bear liver in Inuit, yeah.
Well, when they've been struggling for anything else to eat, they've probably, taken down the polar bear, carved it open, and then, one of them might have passed away as a result of eating the liver. So that sounds plausible to me.
Okay.
It's a question of whether it's the liver or another organ. And whether you've tweaked something there.
Okay.
But I'm going to say that's true. We're having a lot of animal-based facts today.
We are. We've had eyes, liver.
I think animals just lend themselves to this game beautifully,
They do. Well, the weird and wonderful world of the animal kingdom has so many weird facts in there that we can say that a human would die if it ate a polar bear's liver, and you go, oh, right.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think it's true or false? This is make or break.
I'm going to say true.
I'm not overemphasising this when I say this is life or death. The answer is... Oh, isn't it a relief for you to hear that? It is true. Due to the massive amount of vitamin A contained in it, a human would indeed die if it ate a polar bear's liver. So put that down, stop having that for your dinner, it won't go down very well. Let's hear from Louisa Johnson now. This is Best Behaviour. BCInternet.com. Now, it's time for the exciting culmination, and you know what? I was only going to start with this, but I'm going to end with it as well. Quality there. Yeah. That is a fanfare to announce the end of David versus Rory final round. It's currently, is it 4-3?
It's currently 4-3, so it's been quite high scoring, and whatever happens here, I think we can agree that it's been a gallant effort all round.
It has.
And we can both hold our heads up high. That's not loser talk from me. That's just, it's crediting both of us for what has been a good effort.
Fair enough. Whose turn is it to go first?
I believe it's you to go first this time.
Okay, well, get ready for this. In 1567, the man said to have the longest beard in the world died after he tripped over his beard running away from a fire.
Saving the best to last.
I'll tell you what, you didn't think it could get better with a polar bear's liver, but it just did. A man said to have the longest beard in the world died after he tripped over his beard and his words running away from a fire. What do you think, true or false?
I would, in a sense, I would love to think it was true in the nicest way possible.
You'd love it if this man perished in a fire.
That maybe didn't come out as I
intended it to. Happy Bank Holiday, folks.
But I'm going to say false.
Oh, you're going to say false? My goodness me. Well.
Oh, no.
In 1957, the man said that the longest beard in the world died after he tripped over his beard running away from a fire. It is true.
Any idea where that happened, or?
Not a clue.
Oh, right.
Okay. Let's see.
So, you've already got it in the bag anyway, but here is
clean
more
sheet here. 5 out of 5. Come on.
The world's deepest post box is 10 metres underwater.
Okay, I cannot imagine why there'd be a post box underwater, but because I can't imagine it, and because it doesn't make any sense, I'm going to say it's true, because even though you're the one that sticks oats down a bath, I can't see you making that up, so I'm going to, in a perverse way, say true.
It is true, you've got 5.
Thank you.
Yes, it's in Susami Bay in Japan, used by divers who write water-resistant messages.
Well, there you have it. What a treat. 5 points to me. I did win that. Do join me tomorrow when I'm back.